Hey everybody, Ben from Living Survival, and today we're going to take a look at the Klecker knives Cordovan, so stick with me. So those of you that have been subscribed to my channel probably know that Kristen and I attended Blade Show this year in Atlanta. And we saw a lot of cool product, not only from mainstream makers, but also from custom knife makers and vendors as well. This is the Klecker Cordovan from Klecker Knives. Now some of you may have heard of Klecker Knives before because of this right here, and this is the patented Klecker lock. It's basically a lockback design, but the lock itself is integrated into the handle material. In this case, it's a matte finished stainless steel. So, you know, he makes his own knives and they sell these through Klecker Knives. You can get these from Blade HQ Knife Center. But he's also designed some knives for CRKT that you might have seen with a similar lockback called the Klecker lock. The Klecker Cordovan really stands out among knives that he's put out with the Klecker lock, and it's one of my favorites that he has done. You can see you got the matte finished stainless steel there in the handles. It's got inlaid brown G10, which is very unique, and then it's also got brass hardware, including brass pins and brass pivot screw. It's got a nice large flipper up top. You do have to give it a little bit of wrist to open it up, but it flies right out. You've got a 3.63 inch drop point with a little bit of a swedge here, a little bit of a belly on it. It's got a slight recurve there. So like I said, the blade length is 3.63 inches. It is 2.8 millimeters thick, so you do have some decent thickness there, and the blade material is 12C27 stainless steel. And you can also get this in what they call the Cordovan Light, which is exactly the same, it's just a little bit smaller. But isn't that a nice looking blade? It does come really sharp from Klecker Knives, although that really doesn't matter to me because, you know, generally I'm going to touch up my blades. I'm using this for about a week now, opening packages. It'll certainly cut paper, cardboard. It'll do anything that you require of it as far as an EDC task goes. That recurve design works really well when cutting things like cardboard. And it seems to hold an edge really well too. Still razor sharp. It does have a little bit of weight to it, but I find it matches up with this knife very well. I love the grip. It's got these little scallops in the handle here that kind of match up with your fingers. And so as your hand goes around this knife, those scallops kind of fit right into the groove of your fingers here. So your fingers pretty much just fit right into the grooves there and make it very comfortable in the hand. Now the way the Klecker lock works, like I said, it's integrated into the stainless steel handle here, and it gives it that retention that it needs to spring back. So as the knife opens, you can see that it just clicks into its little place there and becomes locked. Now, what's also nice about this is when you're grasping the knife, the harder you grasp the knife, the harder you push down on the front of this lock, meaning the harder it is for it to release. It does have a very deep carry pocket clip, and it is reversible tip up and tip down, but it is only right hand carry. Give you guys a look at how it carries here. You can see that it virtually disappears in your pocket. Give you a closer look at some of the hardware in there. Polished brass pins, thumb button, and then pivot screw. And that brown G10 just sets it off. It's got one of the best lockups I've seen in a long time. There's virtually no play there at all. I didn't have to loosen or tighten the pivot screw at all. That's how it came. And the centering is pretty good. It might be off just a hair, but overall it's just such a nice fit and finish on this Klecker knife. So you may be asking, how much is this knife? Now, this knife is not necessarily a budget knife, but like I do with most things on my channel, I only bring you things that I think are worth it, that I think are quality, that'll hold up. You know, I review things that are on the high end of the spectrum, and I review things that are on the budget end of the spectrum, but always something that I would use myself and that I can recommend to you. Now, if you're just getting into knives, or you have a huge collection of knives, you know that knives can be, you know, the sky's the limit as far as price when it comes to knives. But I was pleasantly surprised to find out that this knife retails for $115, and it can be found anywhere from about $95 on up to $115. So I think it's certainly worth the price, whether you're a collector or whether you just want to throw this into your EDC rotation, you know, maybe for nicer events, maybe going out to dinner, maybe weddings, you know, just more formal occasions where you want to have, you know, a nicer knife to throw in your pocket. Like I said, it's got that super deep carry pocket clip, so it basically vanishes, you know, in your pocket, and would be something that certainly would get looks, you know, pretty much anywhere you take this thing. So I think they really priced this knife right at the $100 price point. I think it's a fantastic deal for what you're getting here. You know, there's a lot of knives from Spyderco, Benchmade, you know, and on and on and on that go, you know, well over that $100 price point. And I think for what you're getting and the design and the craftsmanship of this knife, it's just, you know, it's a win-win. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video today, taking a look at the Klecker Cordovan from Klecker Knives. I'm going to leave some links below to their website where you can check out more details, price, and some of the other options that they offer. Like I said, he's designed knives for CRKT, so there's a couple of cool knives that you could check out from them as well. So we saw a lot of cool stuff at Blade Show. I've got a lot of cool stuff in the works to show you guys videos on, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you leave me some comments below. I try to answer each and every comment. Make sure you share this on all your social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe for more videos.